So,
Yeah,
oh, it's live now.
yeah, still taking a while to go live. Still loading. Yeah, we're live. Hey, hi, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. I'm happy to be here this evening, and it's a opportunity to have my brother, despite his tight schedule, he's able to join me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I have in the house with me brother Jerry Benjamin. He's a BH, he's a BSc holder in computer science, information technology, and MSc in computer network nursing. Currently planning to pursue his PhD in adult nursing. I have known Benjamin for a while now. We've been a work colleague, and aside from being a work colleague, we have also had time to interact politically, especially issues relating Nigeria, issue related to Nigeria political system and every other aspect we can think of. So at times we throw banters, but that is where it ends. It's always been a good fellow to interact with. Last week I promised that now subsequent meeting here we're going to be having all kind of people sharing their experience of UK experience. At the moment, this my beloved brother has moved from where we used to live to Manchester. What's it called? Where again? I think toward the north part
Manchester.
of Manchester. So toward the north part of UK, down Liverpool and all those axes. So he's
England, Spain.
exploring. He's the one really exploring the country at the moment. As you could see, he's had MSc in computer. He has moved to mental health, and hopefully he'll be pursuing his PhD in adult nursing. So he's versatile, and I'm very sure his experience today will be a blessing to some people who will be looking forward to hear from him. So, Benjamin, welcome to our live show. For the first time
Yeah.
of seeing you here, hopefully in the coming days, in the coming months, we will be having you on and off in this meeting. Like the title of the meeting today is Japa
Thank.
Series, Navigating New Beginning. One of the things I see people struggle with is the fact that they really lack that in-depth information about or a system that they are not advanced with. So you have been here for quite some time now. What is your take? What do you think should be the necessary step for people who are coming into the system? What is your take? What is your view?
Uh, Mr. Job, thank you very much for having me here. Can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me here, and thank you viewers also having me. So this is what was the question again? I'm sorry because I was cut off at some point. You're on mute, sir. Sorry, sir. You're on mute.
Oh,
I
okay,
can't hear you. Okay. Yeah.
okay,
Now it's better.
okay. Like I was saying, I said for you, you've for a while now, you've been able to gather some momentum, especially your some areas
Yeah.
that yeah, especially you that came through the school route. So I was saying that how
Yeah.
has your experience benefit you, and what do you think those who are coming newly, what do they need to go through, or what do they need to, what
Uh,
kind of step do they need to follow so that they can benefit from the new system that they are entering?
okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Job. The thing is, coming into this country was not my plan at first. I didn't.
Mm.
It wasn't part of my plan. It just happened. We have our political talks that we have. It just happened that I came in during the second term of General Mohammed Buhari because
Oh,
I'm
okay,
like
yeah.
anybody that yes, I'm saying anybody that will vote this guy for the second term, I have to leave that country before I listen. So I came to this country to further my studies in MSc Computer Networking because, like you said earlier, I already have two BScs in Computer Science and Information Technology. So I came
Yeah.
to do my masters in Computer Networking, and so far so good. Then it was difficult because you're living in a system that's a bit that's a bit unorganized, is a bit not organized, and you're coming into a system it, that has
Okay.
its own way of doing things. So it wasn't easy for me, but I was able to adapt. How did I adapt? I met people like you. I met some people that were able to guide me in the way, which is why I'm actually very, very happy that you're doing this series in order to help people like me back then on giving us the update. So it wasn't easy, but yeah, we moved. And yeah, I'm in Manchester. I moved from Luton to Manchester to further my studies also in mental health nursing. And hopefully I'll do a PhD also in adult nursing. So that's actually my plan. And we have to we have to educate ourselves in order to make our country better because we plan, I don't know about you, but I plan on going back to my country to put in the knowledge I have gathered from my years of studies into helping the people back in Nigeria. So that's actually my plan.
I think if there's
Thank
anybody
you.
who has always been very patriotic, is me. Talking about going back is an aspiration, and I'm really working assiduously toward it. In the next 3 to 4 years, I should be back on my feet in Nigeria, trying to implement some of these changes, those notable changes I've seen in the UK, trying to see how we can implement it, even if at the local level, at the council level, if we can put that in place and we're able to become what's it called, uh, a signpost for others within the country to say, oh, have you been to this local government? Have you been to this state? So we are looking up forward to an
Pacesetters.
opportunity of that nature in the coming years. It's for a man to dream, and it's for God to help you to achieve those things that we have envisioned. I know you've been in the UK, especially um, in the educational system over a long period of time, like migrating from
Yeah.
into nursing. You moved from computer into nursing. How did you manage to make
To
that
do that.
360 switch into a field that you are not averse with?
Okay. Like I said, I used to be a web developer back in Nigeria, so I developed websites and all that, and it messed up my eyes a bit. So when I came to the country, I decided to switch into configuring routers, and that's when I started doing computer networking as my master's. Did CCNA certifications and some other work. While doing this stuff, while studying, because we're not allowed to work for more than 20 hours as
Yeah.
international students, um, as international, we're not allowed to work for more than 20 hours. My sister introduced me to this support work that you take care of people that are mentally unstable. Because with mental health issues is actually one of the things that the awareness is not there. So it, it opened my eyes a bit to a different perspective of life that we've been lacking because there's no mental health awareness in Nigeria at all, where I was coming from. So my sister introduced me to it. I started doing it, and I realized that I was actually very good at it. As I was good in as I was good in computer science, in web development,
Yeah.
I realized that I was also good in the mental health aspect of it. So I made that decision to further my studies into to go deeper into the mental health thing by becoming a mental health nurse. I made that decision. It wasn't an easy decision because, like I said, we are international students, so we it's a lot of money. It's a whole lot of money. But I assure anybody that's coming into the country, if you're determined and you have a focus, you would actually, I think money will be like the last thing. Of course, the bills are there, the fees are there, but things will actually start falling into the right places when you make that move. So I decided to go into it because I have a passion for it, and I
Okay.
know mental health is actually a place that's lacking in the country where the both of us are coming from. So I think my life right now is to equip myself with knowledge and certifications that I will have to use back in our country. But that's all my life. That's what I've been trying to build. So yeah, switching from computer science to nursing was not easy, but the UK government actually makes it possible because they're short in nurses. So if you have a record of working in the health sector, which we did as support workers, you can actually apply and your written statement will now explain itself. Then the universities will decide if they want to take you. So that's how my switch happened. It was the passion for that that made me switch from computer science to mental health nursing. And I haven't even really switched honestly because I still do my freelance computer works and that. So yeah,
Comparing. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. I didn't really want to go in depth into the area of job at the moment, but since you've brought that up in a conversation with me now, I think
yeah,
we, a lot of us actually migrated from Africa back to this part of the world where we are not used to some certain settings like the mental settings, the learning disabilities, the care homes system in place that you we see here. We, of course, the social service or social care per se, and we could say that is where the job is. So for people who are coming in newly, what will be your advice to them in terms of, you've already shared your experience, how you, what's it called, moved from uh, computer science
yeah,
into nursing. It's not that you've moved fully, but it's like you now have two edged
two
sword
sources
at
of
your
income.
disposal now that you can use. If you're in Nigeria, if you're in America, you can
Yeah,
alternate those certificates, which
to
are
both.
also a product of your
Yeah.
learning, what's it called, strength over the years. So, what will you advise those who are coming newly, where they can, what type of jobs they can explore, and how they can use that to build up their CVs for whatever they intend to achieve in the coming years?
Well, I think that's a very good question because when you talk to your friends back in Nigeria or my friends in Ghana also, when I talk to them about doing mental health nursing or support work as I've done, there's this stigma that comes with it. So people talk about, ah, Shay, they take care of mad people. They're not gonna beat you. This, that. That's basically what that's basically what the mindset is. But people that actually live in Nigeria to the UK, I think the first place they want to look at is the mental health sector because there's actually a lot of opportunities there. There's actually a lot of opportunities there. But if you can't handle it, also, I don't think you should do it because you don't want to go into something that you're not in the mental state. You don't have. you want to look after your own mental health also. So if you can't handle it, then you might as well switch into either warehousing. But if you're looking for a white collar job in your first year of the country, I don't think those white collar jobs will be enough to pay your bills. Honestly, that's what I'm saying.
That is where the
Yeah,
problem is.
yeah, that's what, because this country there's something called dignity of work. So there's a dignity in working. You could be a trailer driver, but as long as you're paying your bills and everything, nobody actually cares. It's back home where people care if you're a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, this, that. Actually, nobody really cares about that, yeah, because the bills alone are a lot. So if you can pay for your bills, take care of your family, and you still look good in it doesn't matter if you're a truck pusher or if you're doing anything in the UK. As long as you can afford those bills, then there's dignity in work in the UK. Because look at it. In There are places you can't actually go to in Nigeria that if you think about it, you'll be like, oh, that's for the rich people, right? That's for the rich people. But in the UK, yeah, as long as you can
That's true.
afford it, as long as you can afford it, you can go to a bar or a restaurant where the prime minister eats, and you can actually pay for it because you're doing some sort of job. No one cares. As long as you can pay for it, nobody cares. So my advice to you guys is, when you come to the country, if you see an opportunity, I advise you to take it. Forget about if it is, oh, I'm taking care of cats, I'm taking care of dogs, I'm taking care of this, that. It doesn't really work. I think you should actually put your certificate at the side first, gather some skill, and yeah, move forward. Because when I came into the country, I said I was a web developer. I already have I had about 10,000 hours of web developing already. So I was already grounded in that aspect. When I came in, I was looking for something close to web developing, right? And I won't lie, I saw it, but they needed more experience, more certifications, and all that. How would I pay my bills if I'm waiting for these people to come in? And it's not like they even pay as much, actually, because I think it's one and the same if you know how to move. So I was introduced to it and into self-employment also, and it's been good. I won't lie, it was actually lovely. So dignity of work is a thing in this country. If you're coming here with that mindset that I want to be a doctor or I can't do this work, me, I think you should put your shoulders down and do and do the job. You find. If not, you end up homeless.
I think before we go, we've been able to establish the opportunities that abound in the system. You've talked about job
Yeah,
opportunities. You've talked about what's it called? Even government making provisions for people to make a switch of a different course, different route that will
yeah,
enhances their
yeah.
career goals and all that. But aside that, for me, I always look at two sides to a coin. You get it? I always like to talk about things, the negative, both the positive and the negative aspect.
The negative aspect.
In, yeah, and in your own context, will you or will you do you think there are some negative system in place here, or things that are you don't really jive with, things that you are not really happy about? Just give me an overview about things that you think is kind of not pleasing to you compared to
Of
where you're coming from.
Honestly speaking, there's actually a lot of disadvantages in traveling as a whole, not just the UK, in the whole of entire Europe or outside this thing. But I would have to say something, right? I would have to build on this. I like to say this, that I actually think everybody, like literally everybody in Nigeria, needs to leave that country. They need to leave it, go outside and see things for themselves, then go back and appreciate what Nigeria has been able to do for them. Because living outside Nigeria is not easy. I would say this is not easy. You agree with me that the government actually subsidized education for people in Nigeria, because the amounts we pay. not just international, even now. I'm saying that the people in this country cannot even afford to pay their own fees. It is that bad that they have to get finances from the government, grants that they pay over time in their life. And we as international, we come in and we pay that money. We pay like times three of it.
Mm.
So if you're talking about things that are not good in this country, is the fact that they tend to use the international, like they tend to use people, like let's say immigrants. They tend to use immigrants, the legal immigrants. They tend to use them to make more like to make money. That's one thing. But I advise Nigerians in Nigeria also to move to this country just to see and go back because it's not easy living here. Number one is the bills. The bills is so you pay light bills. I left my lights on. I shouldn't have. You pay light bills. You pay water bills. You
Mine
pay
is on as well.
you pay you pay for Wi-Fi. You pay for
Yeah.
road tax, council tax. You just pay for a whole lot of stuff, and you look at it and you're like, why am I paying for all this stuff? Like, why am I paying for it? And while back in Nigeria, you don't pay for this stuff like that. Although we pay NEPA bill, right? But it's not like this. I can stay in my house. I put my fuel in my generator, and I'm good. I can be good for the month. But this one, like it or not, you're paying for stuff.
That's one of the
You,
disadvantages, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, and another one is actually is racism. One of the reasons why I said Nigerians should leave the country and come to this country is that Nigerians, we're too tribalistic to ourselves. We're tribalistic to
Mm.
ourselves. Like this previous election that happened, what happened shouldn't have happened, but it happened anyway, and it shouldn't have. Because you look at the tribalism that went on in the last election, it shouldn't have. So when you come here and see that they treat every black man and woman as black, they don't care if you're Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Ijo, or wherever you are. They don't care
Uganda
about
or
you. They see
Ghanaian
you as
or
or
Kenyan
Ghanaian or whatever.
or
They
South
don't care. They
African.
see you,
Mm.
yeah, they see
As
you
black
as an
person.
African. You're an African. You're black. When they see you as that person, then you know
Like
that,
when
oh
you
my
hear go
God, I
back
should
home, go back home.
go back home. Yeah, and they call you the N word or call you the C word. They call you a whole lot of stuff, and you see that,
Yeah.
oh my God, this person is actually my brother. It doesn't matter the language he speaks. It doesn't matter
Mm.
this thing. You now understand that we shouldn't be fighting ourselves. We should come together and build ourselves. So when you come and you face racism, I don't actually feel it because I did not grow up in that scenario. So when they call me the N word or they are being racist to me, I don't feel it because more. I didn't grow up in. I grew up in like if someone that was born here would feel it, but
Mm.
I'll say I don't feel it
We have
because
a thick skin, isn't it? Our
yeah,
skin
it's
is
like a
very
thick
thick.
skin.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, subconsciously, I think Nigeria has trained us in order to handle situations like this without being mentally affected. So that's
That's true.
subconsciously. So that's actually part of the disadvantages. So I mentioned bills, I mentioned racism, I
Yeah.
mentioned what other thing would I think of? The fact that when they're making laws, they don't even think about you in the law.
Yeah.
They see most of the lawmakers actually see you as the problem. That's
Mm.
why they're having this. The UK will be going into a general election soon. Hopefully, I don't know if we're making the right decision, but a lot of immigrants will be hoping on Labour to win. I don't know if it's the this thing because the policies that are coming up is making us look bad, like we are the problem, but we are actually the ones pushing the economy high. We're making the government this thing, but yeah, so that's actually the problem. So the government, the bills, and racism. That's all I can pick right now. I'm sure that there's actually a lot, but right now, off the top of my head, I can't say I'll bring us some. But yeah, that's actually the ones I can pinpoint right now.
Thank you for establishing those few points. And I'm very sure that those who are coming newly, and because we tend to expect a lot of our brothers and sisters who will be joining us very soon. And
They sh- Please
thing
let
is,
them come.
you've been able to establish that opportunities abound for everyone. The space is enough for everyone. Of course, we could see the issues with traffic recently on M1, on M25. The traffic
Yeah.
has been very, very immense, and I'm sure everyone is feeling it. The good thing is that
I think
these
that's
people were
because
back in our
I think
countries many years ago, taking advantage of our natural resources,
resources, yeah,
even our
they're still
manpower
there.
as well. And one thing I love about this country is the fact that the diverse culture that they have, they accept everyone. Of course, we are bringing money into the system in terms of we paying school fees, and we also being allowed
Yeah.
to work. I don't mind the restriction being placed around us. We're being allowed to work certain hours. So when you look at the monies being put into places, in terms of school fees, accommodation that we're going to pay for, all those funds, which is coming from a very undeveloped nation into their system to their own advantage at the moment. At times I feel that assuming our country have that mindset of like, if we could have this money and convert it to our educational system, let our products that are coming out goes toward the skill part, because if you see them here, every of their lectures is driven toward your own personal enhancement, personal growth. That when you finish, you don't have to be looking for jobs. The jobs are already there. The markets are like you were in Luton the other time. Now you've moved to Manchester
Manchester.
now because of course there are opportunities abound everywhere. So if the jobs are not within this environment, that swift of moving, that shifting is there in the place. But before we go, the last thing I want to say is that people should be very critical about the system they are coming into. They should not be they should not just take things on face value. They should not take things on face value, or they should not be I don't care. They should not have that I don't care attitude, because the UK is the smallest thing that you think it doesn't matter that a white man or white woman that you're working with will take seriously. So I'm
Yeah, I even forgot. I forgot to add this because I think
yeah,
people should know that it is very easy to get into trouble in
yeah.
this country. It's 100% easy, like super easy for you to get into trouble in this country. So when you come, you might want to go through the laws also. Say, especially if you're a driver
Mhm.
or you that like women, you need to be careful also because you, as a black man, you're a target. As a black woman, also you're a target.
That's true.
But so you need to be careful if you about the decisions you make when it comes to this. You just need to do a little bit of research because
Mm.
statistics shows, I'm not even joking, that immigrants, a lot of immigrants, when they come in, they are the ones that are incarcerated for either driving offenses or for rape allegations. And
Yes.
it's not like they actually raped anyone or
Raped
did this
person.
thing,
Yeah.
but it is seen to be because you need a consent, and this verbal consent of a thing is actually a big thing in the UK because you're a man, you're already at a very big disadvantage also.
Yeah.
So if a woman accuses you of doing something like that, you might want to have a proof that that didn't happen. So it's not to scare anyone. It's just to say that people should be careful when they come in. That this is actually a thing. That people are in prison. Their mental health are being affected because of this particular kind of
I
issues.
think to buttress that your point, I will also encourage our people, especially the ladies who are coming in. I know that the law tends to favor them, the law tends to shield them from abuse and all that, but they should work in hand. They should partner with their spouse to make the home convenient, to make the home welcoming, to make the home homely for their family. They should not look at, because I consider that aspect as a negative aspect in when I looked
Yeah,
at the UK system, because in the quest of them empowering our or the women's, whether white or black, as the case may be today, they have created a sort of problem, like the mental health
It's
we talked about, like
a
children,
loophole. Yeah.
yeah, a loophole for wayward children in the system, that those women couldn't raise properly, couldn't control properly, and these children does not have the impact or the input of their father or their mother. Some are being looked after in a foster care homes and stuff like that, which those children tend to have a dissenting voice, different voice they get to hear all through their lifespan. So if the UK is really willing to have people under one roof, they should create a sort of opportunity for women and husbands to sort themselves out when they have issues. Even children have issues, but they don't have that, what's it called? They don't give men that opportunity or family to resolve their differences. It's not just picking children or taking women out of their homes. That is one of the disadvantage I feel that is totally wrong in the system. And the government is not doing anything. Rather, they are still pumping money every day into that particular aspect of their national life. And that's why you see a man who marry 4 or 5 women of different race and all that, and they have different children. And you see this person, this thing is not only applicable to UK. When you go to Canada, you see this. When you go to Australia, it's prevalent.
Yeah.
You go to America, is a normal thing too. I'm just encouraging those who are coming into the country,
Yeah.
study the environment, study the law, studies things that are not, and you're not well in tune with. You don't have to take them on board. You don't have take the good part, embrace the good part, enjoy it, and live with it. Those ones that you know that this one, no, this one is totally unconstitutional to where you are coming from, discard it, and it will be well with you all through your stay here. So, Benjamin, do you have your last word before you go? Since you are going to work, I've really eaten into your time. So,
And
give me your last input before we'll bring this to an end.
all I have to say is people that actually come in, and I encourage more people to come also. I'm not one of them lots that would say don't come, don't come. I actually want a lot of Nigerians to come. We we are like building this country. If you look at it, we are building this country. So we need to gather that knowledge from building this country and take it back home. We need to be patriotic. So I encourage more people to come and see how things are done in Europe, not just the UK, in Europe, to see how things are done and take it back home. I'm not one of them people that want to stay here. I like it here. I also like it back home also because I've never felt really at home in the UK. I won't lie. All my years of being in the UK, I've never really felt at home like I was in Nigeria. So you guys should come in, gather the knowledge, be careful with the laws. Bills will sort themselves out. You just have to be hardworking, and yeah, that's it. Just try as much as possible to also keep in touch with your brothers and sisters. That yeah, they will
Thank you
guide
so
you in the
much.
best
Thank you
way.
so much, Benjamin, for joining us tonight. I think to crown it all is Benjamin has been able to help us to establish the fact that UK is livable, is livable, is doable. Whatever you see all through that process, you have the capacity, like him who has transcended uh, from information technology into nursing now and is
Yeah.
on his way into his PhD for adult nursing. So, Benjamin, thank you for joining us this evening. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, guys. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.
All right.